Dr. White, could you say something? I just want to make sure my sound is working.
Hello, Jessica. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Uh,
Thank you.
no problem.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Mm, Good afternoon.
Good
I'm just
afternoon.
going to wait one more minute and
Afternoon.
everybody log in. All right, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order in the interest of time and welcome you all to another fabulous Finance and Operations Committee meeting. We'll go ahead and get started. I don't see my board colleagues on yet, but I didn't have any information on the item questions, but there might be, as I did hear from at least one of them, that they would be joining sometime a few minutes late. But so we might have to come back to one of these. Um, so I think we will move on into the abstracts. The first one is Individuals with Disabilities Act. Ms. Jackson.
Ms. Nutter is covering for
All
her.
right, please.
Good afternoon. So the abstract for IDEA 611-619 is our federal funding that really has to do with how we support many of our students with disabilities. And the bulk of IDEA 611 really covers about 80% of that money goes towards staffing, salary and benefits. And another portion of it goes to contracts that we have to utilize for individual nursing, BCBAs, and behavioral support. Um, we also have IDEA 619, which really focuses on preschool and the support for our early childhood learners. And that money is utilized to hire additional support and paraeducators to be able to support some of our youngest learners.
All right, thank you. I didn't have any other questions on that, and I don't see any of my colleagues on here yet, so thank you for that. We'll move on into agreements. 4.01, agreement with Darlene Ortiz, Ms. Jackson, or Ms. Nutter.
No problem. We have an agreement with Darlene Ortiz to be able to provide speech and language services, really due to the shortage of available speech and language pathologists. We do find the need to be able to contract with individuals to provide these services so that we remain legally compliant with the IEPs.
All right, thank you. The only question I had is off the top of your head, do you know how many we would actually need to be able to find to not need to utilize outside contractors? Like, do we know what our shortage is currently?
Miss Sandy Jackson would know the exact number of the shortage that we have, but I think a lot of the problem isn't just our shortage per se, but it's that folks are not going into speech and language pathology in the state of Connecticut. So we don't have a pool to pull from in order to support those needs. And that's another reason why we're having to branch out. But we do need several more speech and language pathologists in order to meet the need of our students.
All right, thank you very much. We'll move on to 4.02, which is agreement with Excel Academy. Ms. Natalino?
Good afternoon, everybody. This is our agreement for our 3 health career pathway schools, Cross Hill House and Career, to offer CNA certification training. This is for credit and for certification throughout the school year. And our contractor for the past 3 school years has been Excel Academy. So we're renewing this contract for another year.
All right, thank you. I didn't have any questions for this. I think this type of training is great.
Thank you.
Glad to see it's still continuing.
Thank you.
Seeing no other questions on this one, 4.03, which is an agreement with Steve Benner. Ms. Nutter?
Yes, very much like the contract with Ms. Ortiz, this contract is for another speech and language pathologist to be able to support our students with speech and language needs and remain compliant with IEPs.
All right, thank you. I had no other questions on that one. 4.04, agreement with Charlene Cupula. Ms. Brillante?
Hi, thank you so much. Yes, I'm presenting Charlene Capoli, longtime educator, data-wise trained. She's going to return to Metro as an instructional coach to continue with our MSAP work. We're in year 3 of the 5-year award. Our deliverables include project-based learning, peer review, consultation, tech integration. And she's a part of a 3-part arm of the MSAP deliverables. One is in information only right now. Megan Neer, Charlene Capoli have been the instructional coaching team, and Latoya Robinson's upcoming contract. But those 3 folks are working in tandem, are uplifting what we're trying to complete at Metro now.
All right, thank you. And things have been going well?
Yes, very well. Excellent. I mean, it was a great year 1 and positive feedback all around from teachers, especially a 10th grade team, especially. And the 149 different units have been created and are ready for peer review. So we're very excited about it. It's got momentum. So thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. I had no other questions. 4.05, agreement with Teach for America. Ms. Skiba? I see she's on. Ms. Skiba, are you available?
Sorry about that. Yes.
No worries.
Yes. So this is our 2nd year. We actually increased the number of fellows. Last year we had 10 fellows and we targeted 5th and 6th grade students during the What I Need period. And now we're expanding to 7th and 8th grade. So what essentially the Teach for America fellows do is they're giving us a large amount of online tutors, and our math coach supports organizing it. So you'll see a classroom of 2 to 1 kids on a computer, and the tutor is live on a platform with them, teaching them for 45 minutes, 4 days a week. So essentially, instead of hiring a bunch of tutors to come in person, they have a 2 to 1 tutor 4 times a week to individualize their instruction. And the math coach works with the tutors directly on what each child needs. So she gives them the individual lessons from iReady. So our curriculum is still being implemented for tier 2. We saw a lot of great gains in 5-6. Not necessarily on SBA, but I think it will come through this year because we targeted the lower kids, because typically it's just cusp kids that get the targeting. We targeted a lot of lower kids and we saw a lot of growth on iReady and in the SBA. They stayed in the same band. So now I believe we're going to pull them into the next band. So we saw a lot of great growth in 5-6. So we want to extend it into 7-8 as well, because we really want our students to be prepared for high school when they leave us for math. There's a lot of supports in literacy, but we wanted to target math for this.
All right. And the only question I had is, so the tutors from Teach for America, are these people in their programs, or these future teachers, or is this a separate program that they?
It's a separate program. So they essentially train college students that are possibly interested in teaching. So they train them, and then our math coach does 2 online trainings with them. And then, the math coach is overseeing them and watching them. So they're not physically with the kids, but they're being highly monitored by Teach for America and our math coach.
Okay. All right. So it's a potential this might attract them into teaching and
Yeah.
maybe into Teach for America or into a regular education program. Got it.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, this is all important feeder programs. We just very recently hired several Teach for America folks to be
Yeah, I think some people may not know that, they have a love for working with kids until they try it.
Yeah. All right. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hearing no other questions on this, 4.06 is an agreement with ACES. Ms. Bonanno?
This is the annual agreement for the arts consultants that are provided to Co-op and Betsy Ross through ACES and the district-wide marketing, which is scope service C in the agreement. So we break it out by 3 different services, and ACES supports us with our suburban outreach as they are the identified regional service center for all of New Haven and the surrounding towns.
Great. All right. Thank you. I had no questions on this one.
Great, thank you.
4.07 agreement with Elizabeth Salado Child Care Center. Ms. Diaz Valencia, or
I'll be taking this one. This is for the daycare center that operates in space inside Wilberforce. This allows for students who've had children to continue their education by providing childcare for them. Students are able to stay in their schools. It continues. There's transportation that'll bring the parent and child to drop off of the daycare, then bus service back to their regular school for the day. In some cases, the students do transfer to Wilberforce to be closer, but we do try to encourage the students to continue in their schools to get the uniqueness of the programs we have in our individual high schools.
okay. Thank you. The only question I had, this mentions it's for 32 secondary school parents and their children. I was just wondering if we knew how many were children. Like we just like ballpark of the 32, does that includes the parents, but also the
Right. I don't have that number right offhand. I can provide that number
I was just curious.
to try to, yeah.
Yeah, it is a great program. All right, thank you. 4.08 agreement with Insight Coaching. Mr. True?
Yes, I believe this is through our continued work with our MSAP grant year 3 with our PBL work. It was greatly successful last year with our 9th grade, and then we're building it upwards towards including 9th and 10th. So they're building interdisciplinary units across all content areas, and it's been really successful, and we've had some really successful buy into it and continue to build upon these particular units of study for our students to enhance our academies and our current pathways.
Okay, thank you. I forget, how long are the MSAP?
It's a
these-
5-year agreement. We're in year 3.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad it's going well.
Thank you.
4.09 agreement with American Medical Response, Mr. Pachowski, or
And I got this one too. So this is coverage for our various sporting events. The cost of this is set by the league, and then we just work on actually making our own agreements for this so that we have coverage for all of our sporting events.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, this is one we see pretty much every year.
Yep.
All right, thank you. 410 agreement with Connecticut Rise Network. Mr. Brown and or Dr. Billy.
Hello, everybody. This is year 3, year 4 for us working with the RISE Network. We've seen some incredible success with our grade 9 students, and we want to continue the partnership this year. We were able to access the data hub this year, and we'll be able to continue now get the data that we're looking to use into the hands of the teachers so they can continue to make these decisions in class, continue to see the success that we've had within our ninth grade students. For Hill House itself, we're currently over 80% of getting our kids from ninth grade to 10th grade. And when I started, we were in the 50s. So we're very happy to see some of that progress using the RISE network. And that partnership has been valuable to us.
Yeah, and at Cross, we haven't been with Rise quite as long as Hill House, but we really like the work they were doing there and joined last year. And we are incredibly excited to continue it. We saw our ninth grade success rate raise this year from 78% for true ninth graders getting successfully to 10th grade to 90%. We really feel like Rise was a huge part of that. So we're eager to continue this partnership and continue to work together.
All right. Thank you. Sounds like it's working well for both of you. I had no other questions, so thank you. 411 agreement with Effective LLC, Ms. Haxey.
Yes, thanks so much. So here I am back with more translations agreements, and actually we're changing companies again, primarily because the only company right now that has a state contract for translation and interpretation is Effective. But I've met with them quite a bit, and I'm really excited about the way they operate and some of the features that they have and their price. They've given the state an amazing price, which is actually for video remote interpretation, which is one of my agreements, which is the general funds agreement. It's almost half price, close to half price. It's about 80%, 85% of the price of our previous vendor. So I'm really excited about that and what impact it will have on our budget. And then I have a second agreement here that's the special funds agreement. So the general funds agreement, the reason I separate it is that the special funds agreement is paid with Title IV as part of our parent outreach, and that allows us to make phone calls in every language. And so I have to keep that separate because the general funds portion is video meetings and things like that. And those are primarily special education, and we can't supplant those funds. So basically we have 20,000 on each to start, which I'm hoping might do quite well for us this year, considering the price differences.
Thank you. I have no comments or questions. So thank you.
Thank you.
So that was 411 and 412. 413. Multi-year agreement with Catalyst Power Asset Co. LLC. Dr. White.
Yes. So this is an agreement that was signed approximately 2 years ago. The change in this is that the company that the agreement originally was sold to Catalyst. So this is recreating the agreement, but under the current name of the vendor so that it can go through because the city had no mechanism to simply transfer it over to who was receiving it previously.
Okay. Thank you for that. My question is there cost information as what this costs us? I know that there is shared savings, so that's a savings, but is there a cost aspect to this? I see on the presentation that we're talking about these different systems, 2 million in total, and then that there's savings of 86,000 a year. I'm just trying to understand that this is not going to bring in new costs, or is it?
To my understanding, it would not. I don't know if Attorney Barrera was able to check in on this one. And this is, as I said, it's the continuation of what we started with Power Investors. I'd have to check over that to provide a clear answer for you.
Yeah, I don't know if it's new costs in that I mean, this was a multi-year agreement signed several years, I think, before I got here, and the company has changed names and been bought out, and so we are redoing it. So I wouldn't say new costs in terms of no one being aware of it, but there are costs to it. I don't know off the top of my head what the annual payments are, but I'm sure we can find that for you, Mr. Wilcox. I just don't know off the top of my head. I don't even want to guess. Yeah, I don't want to speculate because my main work has been on trying to get this approved by the city so that we can continue to pay the new named company.
Okay. That makes sense. I mean, the memo does say that there's no increase in the overall services or extension to the original agreement term. Maybe the way forward to this, Ms. DeMayo or Dr. White, is if we also have it be clearly marked, like the link to the previous agreement that was done and approved. But just to make sure that this is the backup, the original agreement that this is modifying.
All of the economic terms are remaining the same. Right? That is my understanding. We're just working on the legal name change and things like that, but all of the economic terms that were in the originally approved contract, all of that remains the same.
Okay. Right, but just because it also, later on in the documentation, it does kind of lay out what some of those terms are and everything. I think just being able to kind of link to this was, the thing that was I can't remember what meeting we passed this at, but just to kind of link to it and say this is the original agreement that's already approved. The memo clearly says that it's not going to affect that, but at least that way, I know I'm going to get a question about it. So, but please make it, very clear that this is not increasing that. The other thing I might add is in the description, to make it clear that there's no change to the terms. Because otherwise folks are going to think we left it out. So just so I'd say, yeah, that this something to make sure that this is a name change or the company's changing ownership, but there's no change to our terms or costs that were previously approved on, I don't know, whatever the date was. Just something that gets that across.
Okay.
Otherwise, someone's going to go, wait, there's $2 million. What's going on? It's like, well, it's all already done last year or something. All right. I'm happy to look at that too, Ms. DeMayo, once you guys know what you want to do. If you want to, let me see it. All right. 5.01 amendments. And amendment number 2 with Bertram Moses. Dr. White?
Yes. This is for increased costs, particularly related to our SPED legal services and projects, items that we're working through.
All right. I had no questions on this one. Jumping into purchase orders. 601 is under TIPS contract with Amplify. Ms. Novelli?
Hey everyone, thank you. This is for Amplify, which is better known as Dibbles to everyone. It is for our K through 3 universal screener and also provides our progress monitoring. In addition to all of that, it provides teachers with the necessary instructional materials that they would need in order to provide that just right instruction to students once they receive their universal screener data.
Great, thank you. I had no questions on this one.
Thank you.
602, purchase order under state contract with DRS Imaging Services, Ms. Flagler, or?
So I'm going to be speaking for Ms. Flagler, Rolanda. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. So this, we're trying to partnership with ScanOptics to digitize all of our paper records and to reduce the number of paper records we have on file, because we have to keep them for 30 years. So we're trying to put everything in the cloud to make easy access for us, and reduce the cost, reduce the possibility or occurrence of something getting damaged or lost, and have easy access to the files when we need them, and to also cut down on the amount of human time, human capital it takes to store and file each time we get a new hire. So we're asking for their approval.
Okay, the only question I had on this is, does this mean that eventually you don't have to keep the paper records for the 30 years, or is this
So they will be in the cloud for the 30 we do have to keep them, but they will be in the cloud service.
okay. But this would mean that you're not having to keep the paper records, and I'm sure you all have looked at this, that this meets all the requirements that you're working under.
Yes, we're piggybacking off of the city of New Haven. This is where we actually first became in contact with ScanOptics. So they're in the process of digitizing all of their personnel files too.
Okay, great. Makes perfect sense.
Thank you.
603 purchase order to provide exact path diagnostic. Ms. Joyner?
Good evening, everyone. We started this last year with Exact Path to provide a diagnostic for all of our students at the high school level. We've expanded this year to include courseware for college and career services for the homebound students, as well as to include a portion for Riverside for professional development for some of those teachers, providing a virtual teacher, and as well courseware for them. So this is a continuation with adding some more services.
All right, thank you. I had no questions. Thanks for providing that information about the where it's being used, and also in the documentation, the justification for the increased cost made sense. So thank you.
Thank you.
604 purchase order for Daleen flooring for career. Dr. White.
Yes, we are replacing the carpet in Careers Library. One of the projects we're trying to do across the district is, as where possible, removing carpeting and replace it with the vinyl plank flooring, easier to clean, easier to maintain, and also reduces the ability for mold growth and such when we have humidity problems.
All right, and I'm assuming that this is the full replacement, which requires moving all of the books and materials.
Correct.
All right. As somebody who runs a library, hopefully they are very careful when they're doing that in terms of keeping everything in order, or it becomes a major issue. Voice of experience.
Yes, we'll be making sure that that's done properly so that the library can be back in service as quickly as possible.
Yeah. All right, thank you. 605 is a purchase order with Utility Communications. Dr. White.
Yes, this is for our fire and burglar alarms monitoring system, as well as the dialers, so that make sure that when alarms go off, they do go to PSAP, which is the public service access point, so 911 serves, so that it's properly dispatched to police and fire.
All right, thank you. I had no questions. Pretty straightforward.
Yes. And I have one thing that I since I'm still on the mic at this point, there was one thing in information only that actually the funding source changes from capital to general fund. That was 2.12. Just wanted it noted so that again, when it comes up in the corrected for the main agenda, that it was stated during the meeting.
All right, thank you for that correction. Did you get what you need, Ms. DeMayo?
No, I'm sorry. Could you explain what that you're
Yes, it's go
changing?
2.12. It's listed as capital. It's going to be
Okay.
going to general funds. So
Okay.
no change in anything else. It's just a change in the account number by just one so that it reflects the correct account number when it's on the board meeting next week.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Contracts, 701 GAT Construction, Dr. White.
Yes. This was a bidded out contract to do bathroom repairs. As you know, we have many stall doors broken across the district. This will be a contract to really work on that. And we'll have finally get the bathroom blitz going to repair stalls across the district.
Okay, thank you. I had no questions. And we have several with Mr. Young. So we'll go to 702, water contract to Tyson.
Good evening, Nat. This is our contract for the 26-27 school year for our chicken products for food service.
All right, thank you. I had no questions. 703, Made Right Specialty Foods.
May Right will be providing us with beef products.
Okay. And I'll just remind everybody that in the paperwork backup for all these, it always lists the types of products and the amounts and so on. So the backup's there. 703 is, no, I'm sorry, 704 is Dairy Farmers of America.
And this is our dairy products for the school year.
Okay. Whether the students drink it or not.
Yes.
Because we're mandated by federal law to put milk on every tray. Even if the kid is lactose intolerant.
Well, the lactose intolerant, we have other options for them, like lactate, so they don't get the regular milk.
But it's still, yeah. No, it's a pet peeve. It's USDA administers this, not an actual nutrition group. It's Remote Farms, which is great. Farms are good. Anyways, I digress. Well, moving into change orders, and just a reminder, this is typical this time of year. I'm assuming each of these are to close out final invoices, but 801 is Carbonella.
This is, yes, sir. This is to close out our produce vendor for the 25-26 school year.
Okay, and 802 with Lupi's.
And this is our bread vendor closing them out for the 25-26 school year.
803 with Guida Siebert Dairy.
Guida, this is our dairy products we're closing out for the school year.
All right, thank you, Mr. Young. And then finally, 804 is change order with Rutello, Dr.
Yes,
White.
this is a small change just to cover the cost for bonding and the EEOC fees for this project.
Okay. All right, I had no questions on that one. And I'm the only one here, so I am saying these are moving forward to the full board for their consideration. I don't know that I need to make a motion and second it myself and then vote on it, but let's consider that done. By our bylaws, one person can move things to the full board out of committee. The final thing on the agenda is the just a reminder we're in the hiatus of financial reports and things like that while the end of the fiscal year gets closed out and the new year is getting going and so on. 10.01 is just a reminder we're going to be putting out our draft of the discussion calendar to go from our next meeting to the end of the year. So if there's some of the things are going to be what we saw last year, but if there's things people would like to see on that, or if the administration, if there's particular reports that you all want to present, like Dr. White, if you wanted to present anything, just let myself and Ms. DeMayo know, and the superintendent, and we'll add it to the calendar And then once we do put that out and send it to everybody, which I'm assuming we're going to do probably sometime next week, just not wait till the next meeting just to get the draft going. If there is an unreasonableness in the timelines, please let us know. So we can move some things. So for instance, we typically have our change order report that I think is in our first October meeting, but if we have 5 other things or other things going on, we could move it one meeting forward or back, I think, without difficulty. So it's the 2 parts. It's what's on it and then what's the date that it's attached to. And then the intention is this will run us probably through our first January meeting of 2027, which I'm not likely to be in, being done on the 31st. All right. Is there anything else? Any we I'm seeing we don't have our typical if there's any major financial things or stuff we need to be aware of. I'm assuming that means there's not. And we shall adjourn.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a good
everybody.
evening.
Appreciate your time.